My dad, 63M, is paying off my sisters, 29F and 30F, student loans, but not mine, 28F. What should I say? I am 28F. I have three sisters, 29F, 30F, and 25F. My parents, 63M and 61F, have been divorced for 12 years. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, and my dad has a PhD in nuclear engineering and makes a good living. My mom has had to find her way back into work after being out for so long, and now has a work-from-home job in customer service, making just enough to pay her bills each month. When my parents got divorced, I was the only one who chose to live with our mom, while my sisters stayed with our dad because they didn't want to leave the original house which he got. My parents' relationship with each other has improved over the years to where they now spend holidays together so they can both be with their kids. Neither of them are dating, but in the beginning, probably up until I had my son, the only grandchild, they really didn't like each other. I've always been very close to my mom and not so much my dad, and part of that is because I believe he treats me very different from how he treats my sisters. My mom says this is because I chose to live with her and not him. My 29-year-old sister has gotten herself a PhD in economics and is teaching at a university. She is not married, no kids, and lives alone. My 30-year-old sister has a bachelor's in psychology and attended 2 different grad programs, but didn't finish either, and is planning on going back to grad school this year. She is working full-time and is married to a woman who also works full-time. Together, they make around $100,000/year. My 25-year-old sister went to some community college at my dad's urging, for which he paid the tuition. She did not continue. She decided to get her real estate license. My dad funded the course and all costs. She lives with her boyfriend. Not married, no kids. I went to the same community college my younger sister went to and studied a university transfer track to a bachelor's degree in psychology. After transferring, I changed my major to nursing. I graduated nursing school last May and am now a nurse. When I entered community college, I was 19 living with my mom, no job, full-time student. My dad made me take out student loans. My mom would have paid, but she couldn't afford it. My older sisters also took out loans, but they went to university, which was much more expensive. When I met my husband, I was still on the track to my degree in psychology. I took a break from school when we discovered I was pregnant in 2019. Between 2019 and 2022, I had my son, got married, and started school again, but now for nursing. My husband and I started paying off my student loans when we got married in 2019, and I had $12,000 in loans, which we were able to pay down to $4,000 by the time COVID came and the loans paused. When I decided to go to nursing school, I chose to go to a private school because they had night class options which would allow me to be home with my son until my husband got home. The tuition cost my husband and I $27,000. $7,000 we paid out of pocket and $20,000 in more loans. I graduated last year with a total of $24,000 in student loans. My husband is successful and has a doctorate in chemical engineering. He works for a university health system as a scientist and makes a salary of $140,000. We also own a home, have 2 pets, a 4-year-old, and I am pregnant again. Between my student loans, credit card payments, car payments, bills, the house, etc., we barely have extra money anymore. I was working, but not since recently due to being pregnant. I do plan to keep working, but my previous job was too physically demanding, and this was a pregnancy that had to be achieved with fertility treatments, so I'm very anxious about anything going wrong. I recently discovered that my dad has been paying my older sister's student loans every month in full, and that he pays all 3 of my sister's auto insurance. He paid my insurance until I got married. The day I got married, he cut me off. However, my oldest sister is married, and he is still paying for hers.
I'm dumbfounded.
I thought my dad was being conservative and old-fashioned by not paying for anything for me since I got married. Then I discover he's still covering my married sister's loans and insurance. This man is bleeding money. He has 3 cars, one of which he just gave my younger sister and is still paying for it, and 2 houses in 2 different states. For Christmas this year, he got me 2 sweaters. 2 sweaters. But got my sisters like 10 things each. He has a budget he spends on each child for Christmas. And since getting married and having my son, he has taken my individual budget and divided it by 3 so my son and husband can get 1 small thing from him. It's honestly such a stark difference between my mom, who has created 2 entirely additional budgets for her son-in-law and grandson, and me-in-laws, who do the same. Neither my mom nor me-in-laws make close to as much money as my dad makes. My dad and I are not estranged. I see him frequently and was invited to his house for dinner tonight. I want to bring all of this up, but I don't know what to say. My sisters have told me are not going to get involved because they don't want to do anything that would make him stop paying for their stuff. What should I do?